let's get to in my opinion, the premier match of the entire Champions League Tuesday and Wednesday. Atlético Madrid hosting first place Club Brugge. Atletico is minus 250 on the money line. Bruges 7-1. The draw sitting at plus 375. This is a 12:45 p.m. Eastern time match, so it's the premier match along with Napoli and Ajax. The most all-in spot of all-in spots of all time. A lot of alls there. Bruges, like I mentioned, has scored 7 goals. They have conceded none. They have created 4.8 expected goals, and they've allowed 4.2 expected goals. This team is they're not horrible, but they're not as good as essentially what their numbers suggest they are right now. And in that match against Atletico, I know you're going to disagree with me, but I thought that Atletico played really, really well. And guess what? When you put Diego Simeone's back against a wall, he always comes out and he always delivers under pressure. And even in that match, I mean, Bruges had 12 touches in the penalty area and 5 box entries, and they scored twice. Like, this is crazy. They took 7 shots and scored 2 of them. I can't believe this team. Like, this team just is on the craziest finishing rate of all time. Any little mistake that their opponent makes, they just automatically capitalize it on score. It's crazy. I cannot believe they keep doing this. So I'm taking Diego Simeone minus 1.5 at plus 130. Regression's coming for this Bruges team. And I went and looked. There's a lot of scenarios that have to happen, but they are 10-1 to not get through to the next round, which I think is a bet that I have to make at a principle. Again, a lot of things have to bounce their way. Like, essentially one of these teams has to be, between Leverkusen, Porto, or Atletico has to be essentially really bad and lose the other 2 matches, and the other 2 have to win. But yeah, this Bruges team, their day of reckoning is coming, and it's going to be at the Wanda Metropolitan on Wednesday at 12:45 p.m. Eastern
that high
time.
On them here.
So I am taking Atletico minus 1.5 at plus 130. What do you have for this match?
Look, you guys almost talked me into betting Atleti last week, and I ended up staying. I stayed away late.
Should have won.
I did some more digging into this Bruges team. Have they been fortunate? Of course. Like, they should not have won all 3 matches in the Champions League this year. They're not on that level, of course. But like, at what point do we just kind of like respect what they've done and how they've played in 3 matches in this league? And they do have an interesting young core. Like, they're one of the youngest teams in this league. In this tournament, they look like they're very cohesive out of possession, which we know is extremely important in the Champions League. They're very comfortable playing without the ball. Atleti didn't really create much in that match. Leverkusen,
they had 2.1 expected goals.
Well, a lot of that, half of that was the penalty. A third of that was the penalty.
Yeah.
So Leverkusen, again, like, we're going to let you have the ball, but we're going to defend our box really well. It was very effective. They've now done it 3 times. And I know it's probably a good sell spot, but the number's not good enough for me. So I'm passing. And look, Atleti, again, home match against Girona this weekend, pretty uninspiring attacking performance. Like, I don't trust Atleti to get margin. That's the thing with me here too, is like they might win this by a goal. They might sneak out a 2-1 win, luck box tradition, late goal, but I can't trust them to get margin. And the number's not good enough. So another pass for me, not the biggest slate of me with me in the Champions League.